Welcome to Beers and Bodyslams. God, it's been so good to say that. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here.
Long time.
Oh, I had some time off. I went on a beer extravaganza. We'll talk about that a little bit beginning of the show. That I went on to 6 different breweries over 2 weeks. Oh, it was fun. We had lots to talk about. Lots happened on Raw. A lot of talks on Smackdown. We got Survivor Series still to kind of talk about. But before we get into that, sitting across from me is the man who I'm going to hit with a steel chair so he can go off and film the Marine 19. Good old JB.
And sitting across from me, he is the tequila to my sunrise, Mr. Fluffy.
That's right. But we got so much to talk about. Many things. Lots of headlines. We're getting to Raw and Smackdown a little bit from this week, but we got lots and lots of headlines, lots of fun stuff. And we have one of the best beers of the year, one of the best beers, period.
One of the strongest beers.
Strongest beers we're ever going to have.
Jesus.
Thank you, Brian, for introducing us to wonderful things. And congratulations on your new baby.
Yes, sir.
We'll get into all that and so much more when we come right back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
with your host, Mr. Fluffy,
Hello, ladies.
good old JB,
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
and the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, E-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
All right, I'm not even going to say, hey, Fluffy, what are we drinking? That's just weird.
I'll say it. Hey, Fluffy, what are we drinking today?
We are drinking, and it is in stores right now. So if you can find it, go grab it. The Goose Island Bourbon County Branded Stout 2017.
Hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses. It's a wide release. I know they had 5 different versions of this beer this year. There's a stout. I think there's a honey mead. There's a couple of different versions they're doing, but this is the one that's everywhere. It's in grocery stores. It's in liquor stores. Go find it. It's not expensive either.
No,
For the
it's not.
size bottle, it's $10, what I found it for. But it is amazing.
It is. It's good. It'll knock you on your ass.
14%, and you taste every percent.
So this is not something you want to drink fast. You're not going to sip this.
Well, no, you are going to sip this.
Well,
You're not going to chug
sip this like it's not a summery sipper.
No.
It's
Yeah, no, this is a winter beer.
This is a winter beer. It would definitely warm you from the inside.
Yeah. This is definitely a winter beer because if you drank this and anything above 70 degrees outside, you're going to feel horrible.
Yeah, you're gonna pass out.
But it's got a really good, it's got a great vanilla flavor, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee from the stout version of it. Oh, God, it's good.
It is good.
It's heavy. I'm not going to say it's not.
No, it's not light. But like I said, it's a good winter beer.
We have it in sifters.
If you're a bourbon fan,
yeah.
You get a little hint of that also in the finish.
Yeah.
It's really good, but it's powerful stuff. So tread lightly.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So before we get to the wrestling, I do want to give some shout outs because I basically, the reason I've been here for 2 weeks and we were off last week all together for the holiday.
You were off doing fluffy things.
I was off doing fluffy things. I was in Fort Lauderdale for a couple of days and then I went to Buffalo, New York. So I just want to talk for a second about some of my fun. Obviously, when I'm in Fort Lauderdale, I went to Funky Buddha. There's no way around that. I went to a great Funky Buddha dinner. Got some great beers to bring home. I got some of their exclusive barrel-aged stuff from the brewery. I got a version of Morning Wood they only had there, and I got their Chardonnay-aged undefeated Saison that I'm excited to tap into.
You got a lot of good stuff. Early Christmas presents.
Early Christmas present. I also went to 2 other breweries that I checked out. I went to one called Lauder Ales. That's what's pretty good. It's a newer brewery. It's only been about a year and a half.
Oh, nice.
And then I went to one that I loved, and nothing against Lauderdale's, but the next brewery is definitely now my new second favorite in that area. 26 Degrees Brewing Company. Amazing beer. They're about 3 years old. Incredible. For you, one of the best sours I've ever had, if not the best sour I've ever had.
Wow.
Called Pucker Face.
High praise.
Yeah, they supposedly said they're going to be up in Orlando area, hopefully within the next few months. So I'm going to go out and look for it and bring it onto the show as soon as I can. But oh my God, it was good. Some great beers. I'm looking through my stuff to see what I know I had a lot of it, but Pucker Face was my favorite. It like I said, it's probably my favorite of all time. Sours, if not. I mean, it was amazing. It was the kind of sour I like, where it was potent and sour, but not overpowering. And once you got past those 3 or 4 sips, it just opened up and it was gorgeous to drink. Wow. It was so much fun. And then after that, last week, I went to Buffalo, New York, and went basically on a beer run.
A day in a life.
Oh my God. I went to 4 breweries in one day on Saturday after Thanksgiving. I went to Old First Ward, which was a brewery that is in a bar that's been in Buffalo for literally like 50 years. They decided to open a brewery in the back. Beers were good. More fun atmosphere. Like literally, it's like walking into your neighborhood local bar.
Oh, cool.
Then I went over to a brewery I've been to before called Big Ditch. I highly recommend if you're in the Buffalo area. Amazing food, really good beer. Then I went off to Thin Man, which is now my second, if not my, no, I would say it's my first, now my favorite brewery in Buffalo. It's taken over for
Thin
the
Man.
Thin Man. Beers like you wouldn't believe. Just insanely good. I'm trying to look through my list of the ones I really enjoyed. Hold on. There was one called, they had a vanilla cocoa latte beer that you swore you were drinking a coffee. If it wasn't,
I saw you check that one.
Oh, it was really good. And then they had a Forever Coffee Cordial that was an Imperial Double. That was really good. Their sour was not very good though, which was kind of funny.
It's an acquired taste. It's hard to.
But they had some amazing beers. Then we ended up in the last brewery we ended up in was Resurgence, which is my other favorite brewery out there, and had a really good time. So thank you so much for allowing me to drink your beer and hanging out and having some fun. I talked to some people. That was a great time.
Good stuff.
Did you have some good beer over the breaks? Any good beers?
I didn't really have any new ones. I had mostly ones I've had before. I found a local spot here in Orlando that I tried out with a buddy of mine. And,
cool.
I'm always seeking new hole in the wall, good beer spots. So stumbled upon one, and I'll probably frequent that again.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna talk a little Survivor Series. I know it's a little bit late, but we haven't talked about it yet. So I know you won handedly. I sucked butt, but so you are once again champion. It is once again fall comes around, winter shows up, and JB takes over because that's what happened last year.
The summer of Fluffy was dethroned by the week of Irish, and now
it's the winter of JB.
The winter of JB.
So
yes. Winter has come.
Winter has come. We pick a night of champions. You get to go first, but I will say this before we get into Smackdown or Survivor Series. Say, if you ever watched NXT yet, the takeover was great. Really good time.
They're usually good.
They're always good, but Survivor Series was a lot of fun. I thought it was really enjoyable.
It was solid. Yeah, it definitely was solid.
What I liked about it is it had some story, but I really feel like every match was basically, this is how long we want you to go. Mm-hmm. This is how we want it to end.
Yeah. Now
go. Because a lot of the matches were just showcases.
Yeah.
Starting right off with a New Day Shield.
Yeah.
That was a great match.
Well, I figured, and me and Iris talked about this. I thought that match had great potential against two teams that have pretty much dominated their respective brands for the last couple years.
Yeah.
New Day as a tag team and the Shield just as when they were together, obviously as a group in general.
Yeah.
And they've all garnered high, singles success. The Shield has, so the potential was there. And it actually brought out, a more serious side of the New Day, which is what I was looking for them to do as well, and expand their characters a little bit.
Yeah, it was incredible. The match was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
It was back and forth. You didn't quite know who was going to win at any point. And it was just, and again, I just felt like they went, all right, this is how long, this is what you want to do. Now go out
do your
and
thing.
do it.
Yep.
And it was amazing. Then we had the Women's Survivor Series match.
Yep.
Bailey eliminated Becky almost instantaneously.
That's terrible.
That was weird.
Becky hasn't. I mean, like I always said this before. When's the last time she's done anything
Yeah.
meaningful?
And she was the captain.
Imagine that.
And she was the captain, and just immediately, I mean, within 2 seconds, I mean, what was it? When less than a minute in the match, she was, and it was a
bad.
roll up too. It wasn't
was
anything
bad.
impressive.
Yeah, it was bad.
I liked watching Nia and Tamina go at it,
Yes.
but the Nia count out, it was 9.
Yeah.
I rewound it and watched it again. He says 9 and then rings the bell.
Yeah,
And I'm
well.
like, no, it's supposed to be 10, then you ring the bell. To the point where I'm assuming she was supposed to be counted out, but he messed up the count. And I think people got confused. Because even you look at some of the people in the ring, they're like, but you
what
only
happened?
got to
Yeah.
9. She was not in yet. That was weird. But Asuka is the sole survivor and wins the whole thing. Shocker.
Yeah,
Because they're going to
shocker.
build her up to be a monster.
Of course.
You know, that was, but I was just like, okay. It was a fun match, though. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that one as well. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We'll talk about this more, but I'm glad. Let's just say I'm glad in the direction they're going
Mm-hmm.
with the women.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. That'll be during the headlines part. But we
Yeah.
got a lot of new ladies that have shown up. The Miz and Baron did not disappoint.
No, I think that's the one I got wrong.
That was a great match for both of them. And I really felt like for the first time in a long time that Baron is finally back on track.
Yeah,
That
since
was a
his
match.
Twitter incident,
Yep.
which derailed his push to be champion.
Yep.
He's finally, regrouped and ate a slice of humble pie, and now it seems like he's refocused.
Yeah. And it was the kind of match where I was expecting where they looked. The Miz always has good matches
Yeah.
now, anyways. But Baron looked good. They both looked amazing.
Maurice being in the crowd was an interesting.
Yeah. She
interesting
can't be
plot
out
twist.
there.
Yeah,
It was fun, though. It was
Yeah.
a good match. We had the tag team Usos versus the Bar. That was the most disappointing match of the night for me.
I don't think that was probably the match that had the least expectations.
Yeah.
So it kind of lived up to what we thought it would be.
Usos won.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, okay.
It was expected.
Alexa versus Charlotte. I will say the match was better than I thought it was going to be. I think both ladies really sort of showed what they can do. I never felt like Alexa was going to win, but I felt like she pushed Charlotte to a point where she made Charlotte work for it. Does that make sense?
She stepped her game up because I had always had questions about her in-ring prowess.
Alexa?
Per se. I think she's been kind of protected in some of her matches.
Yeah.
She hasn't been in any of the higher profile, ladder match or the steel cage, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that Charlotte and Sasha and all
So
them.
it's like she hasn't really been on that level yet. So I was curious to see how she would do against a Charlotte, who in ring wise, her and Bailey, Sasha, I put them on a different pedestal. So for her to hold her own, it lends credibility to her now.
And I thought she did hold her own. I never thought
that's what I was looking to see, is if she could hold her own against someone like a Charlotte. Because it's different when you're fighting Mickie James.
Oh yeah.
Not to say that she's not great, but it's a different pace.
Well, yeah,
than it was 10 years ago for her.
All I wanted from that match was Alexa to look competitive.
Yeah.
Even in the match, I never felt like Alexa could win.
Yeah.
But again, I just felt like she pushed Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a blowover. Charlotte had to work to beat her. And that's what I wanted. So I thought they looked good. The AJ Brock match, that was brutal.
It was that was
I enjoyed it.
I'd love to see a rematch.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
AJ took a beating, but again, he pushed Brock. That was a match. There were a couple points I'm like, oh, AJ can win this.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Alexa and Charlotte in this matches.
Yeah.
I actually felt several times. I'm
He
like,
had a chance to win.
oh, he can win. Oh, he can totally win this. He can pull this off. And then he got F5 through the floor, because that's what Brock does.
I'm nothing against gender, but I'm glad that AJ was the one to fight Brock.
And that's what I was about to say.
And I'm glad that he is, the standard bearer for the SmackDown brand.
Yeah.
Him having the U.S. title, to me, it raised the value of the title, but it did nothing for the top of the card.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. So, hats off to AJ. Hopefully, he has a good Mania match.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it won't be against Shane this year. So
Nope.
he'll actually get to showcase his ability.
I'm hoping he
on
has the
big
belt by
stage.
then. I'm hoping he keeps the belt.
I'm thinking that's why they made the change.
Yeah.
Going into Mania season.
I think if it was Brock versus Jinder, it would have been a massacre.
Well, see, I only saw that potential. Like I said, if that were the case, Jinder would have had to win that match somehow, either by cheating.
He would. Well, yeah. The only way he would have won is
But
disqualification.
just if they were going to roll with him through Mania as the champion, the bump he would have got from beating Brock Lesnar, even if he cheated, rolled the tights, whatever he did, just have hit that on his resume to say, I beat Brock Lesnar.
Would have been big.
It would have been huge for him, just to boost his stature. But they went in different directions, so that kind of leaves him in limbo now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, he's getting his rematch at Clash of
Well,
Champions,
he won't
so
be winning that.
No, he won't be winning that. And then we had the men's Survivor Series match, which started out with one of the funnest moments of the night was Strowman throwing, not tossing, throwing Shane across the ring.
Yes,
that was a fun way to start. I was like,
man, like he was a pillowcase.
You've seen tosses, you've seen hurls. That was a throw.
Yeah.
Like literally, the look on Shane's face when he was in the corner, I'm going, that's acting. I don't know if it's 100%, because I think part of that was not acting. Because I think he was like,
that just happened.
oh crap, that was further than I expected, because he was heaved.
Yeah.
The only thing that made me upset is they're trying to build Strowman as such a monster, and he killed Rude and Shinsuke. Not saying they can't take it and come back,
Yeah.
but that was kind of
Made
brutal
look
on
weak.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made him look a little weak. For both of them, made it a little weak, because I was like, Shinsuke especially, because they're trying to build him up as this enigma character, and he just got obliterated.
I'm very disappointed with Bobby Roode's main roster debut.
Yeah,
we'll touch on that, but
we'll get to that.
They've fumbled again.
Yeah. And then we had some interesting moments. Cena was pinned by Angle. That was definitely not what I expected.
He must be going to film a movie or something.
No, I don't. I think
he must be leaving again.
Probably.
He just popped in for
KO and Shane and Sammy attacked Shane and created havoc.
Yeah.
And then Triple H attacks Angle, which made it weird.
There's no pun intended. There's an angle. Going with that apparently.
And then Triple H and Strowman win, but definitely not on the same page.
Yeah.
Things happen the following week, but and we'll touch on what happened on Raw in a second. I do want to talk about that for 1 second. What happened that week is I like the version of Triple H that's running right now in a way, because on Raw the following night when he backed down from Strowman, this is a new version of Triple H. Even when he was in that match, you could tell it's the I know I can't do everything, so I'm going to do what I can and get the hell out. Triple H, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
He still looks good. He still looked good in the ring.
Yeah.
He had a good time.
He keeps himself in shape though.
Yeah, but it's an interesting new version of Triple H.
Yeah. He's picking his battles now.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I do not want to see him going against Strowman. I want to see him going against Angle. That's really where I think we're going.
I think that's where we're going.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
He might do something with Strowman at the Rumble, but I doubt it. That'd be a waste to pull him out of that Rumble.
The only thing I can see is if Triple H throws himself into the Rumble and Strowman eliminates him somehow or something like that, we'll see. But we'll go into that. But honestly, I expected Survivor Series to be a 3.
Really?
I won't give it a 5. I'll say it was a 4.
Oh, you mean 3 out of 5?
3 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I expected it to be a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
It wasn't perfect.
It was solid.
But I enjoyed it. And what's sad is I think the part I liked about it the most is it had very little storyline. There was it was just pure wrestling.
Yeah.
It felt like more like a specialty show, like a showcase show. Just go out there and do it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if they do 1 or 2 of those a year.
Yeah.
And then we can get to headlines. We got a bunch of headlines that we can get to before we get to Raw. One of the big things talking about headline shows is that there's now 5 crossover shows.
Yeah.
The big 4 have now been joined by Money in the Bank.
Yep.
I'm excited about that.
They needed that.
My question is this, and I want your opinion. So do we have 4 Money in the Bank matches, or do we have 2 Money in the Bank matches, as in
2?
Okay, so I agree with you.
A women and a man.
And then half will be Raw and
Yeah.
half will be SmackDown.
Both sides, yeah.
And that way the briefcase each year can oscillate.
Yep.
Which my concern is, I hope one match doesn't predict the other. Like if a SmackDown women wins that one, I don't want it to automatically make the Raw man win the briefcase.
Yeah.
Like I hope they change it up a little bit over the years, but that was the one pay-per-view that I don't mind being part of the group.
Yeah. The cross branding is going to be big for them. So I think you're going to see them expand that.
You know what? And that's what it needs, though.
Yeah.
I don't mind
because, like I said, the whole premise was built on competition, right?
Yep.
So there's one way to have them compete against each other and make them seem as if they're separate brands is to have them compete against each other more often.
Yeah. The other thing is if they do it right, it just like
say what?
I know,
do it right.
Just like with the Rumble, or even leading into now Money in the Bank when they do it, is you can have weeks beforehand where you have qualifier matches.
Yeah.
There's no reason why on Raw and SmackDown, and they're going to do it. You can't have, all right, you three are going to go out and have a triple threat match. Whoever wins, you're in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
And that makes it interesting, and that makes it fun, and that makes those matches mean something.
That's a way to, you can book your show like that.
Oh, yeah. The week before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The week before the pay-per-view, all of Raw and SmackDown could be all of those.
For the month. You're going to have your quarterfinals, your
Yep.
qualifiers, and then your quarterfinal,
Oh, my
semifinal.
God. Yeah, you have tournaments leading up to it.
You have your
Yeah, but I think that's going to be great. I really, out of all the pay-per-views they could have done as a big one,
that had to be the one.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. So we had 6 new, I don't want to say, 5 new and 1 returning women come up. On Raw, we now have a group consisting of Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville.
I don't know a lot of these women.
Okay,
I'm
Mandy
not
Rose.
the NXT.
Andy Rose, I know.
I know Ruby Riott.
I
know Liv Morgan, who's Carmella 2.0.
Yeah, but they're changing her up a little bit, which I kind of like. Her attitude a little different. Sonya Deville, I like. She really is. She's an ex-MMA fighter. Legitimately ex-women's MMA.
I'm thinking of.
She's on Raw. She's the one with the really tight braids in her hair.
No, I know. I'm talking about. I thought you said MMA fighter. I'm thinking which one was it? Dragano.
Yeah,
that's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
no, she's really good. Absolution is the name of the group, and we'll get more of that when we talk about Raw. And then over on SmackDown, we had 3 new women show up: Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Out of that group, Sarah Logan's the one I don't know the most of. I've seen a bunch of Liv Morgan when she was in NXT. Yeah. Again, she's Carmella 2.0.
Yeah.
Ruby Riott, I know because she's been in NXT. She hasn't been in NXT very long.
No.
But she had a big indie run.
Yeah.
Sarah Logan is the one I don't know, but I think she has potential because she's the brute. The only thing I don't like about this, though, is the fact that basically both groups are mirror images of each other.
Well, apparently, this is all going to tie back to Paige. So, and
the Paige is going to connect them all?
She's going to be the mastermind behind all of this.
That would make sense because Ruby is Paige. Liv Morgan and Mandy Rose are almost the same.
Yeah. So
and then Sarah Logan and Sonya Deville are basically the same.
Apparently, the plan is to make her the mastermind behind both of these. So it'll come back to her eventually.
That would make a lot of sense.
So no Peyton Royce, no Billy Kay call up?
Not yet. Not yet. You know why, though? I think I know why. They need them in NXT now because they just basically
gutted the roster.
Yeah, they got the roster. And those are 2 you can put the belt on and move around. They put the belt on Ember Moon. She needs somebody to fight. So you've got Peyton Royce and Billy Kay she can fight.
Yeah.
So we're in that situation we've had before when we had like Bobby Roode there or Shinsuke before where once you move all these people out, you got to have somebody to fill in. And it's going to take them a little while. So I think Billy Kay and Peyton Royce are coming. I think it'll be more towards the idea of maybe WrestleMania weekend, or that they'll be the ones after WrestleMania. But
at this point, I don't know. That's a lot of and talent. But see,
but I don't think we're gonna see all these same girls there. I don't think they're all surviving by WrestleMania.
Unfortunately, I'll give them to after.
I think some of these girls are going to go away. I think,
unfortunately,
and I hate to say it, I think people like Becky should really watch their back.
Dana.
And
Alicia.
Fox. And I would say, and honestly, up to about 6 months ago, I would have put Natty on that list, but I think she's really stepped up her game, and she's done
good.
well. I hate to say it, I had to put Bailey maybe on that list.
No, she's not going anywhere.
I don't know, man.
This is a perfect time for them to do something drastic with her.
Yeah, turn her heel.
And have her side with the NXT girls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
Or at the very least, she could benefit from a brand split change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
you know.
All right. So then we had two wrestlers that got quote unquote their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
So they could leave. The Miz was beaten up by Roman Reigns and the Shield.
Written off.
Roman's a new Intercontinental Champion. He's written off to
Didn't
go
see
off
that one coming.
and film the Marine 5. And then Becky got her butt kicked by the New Girls, so she can also go off and film Marine 5.
Oh.
So, and apparently
that makes sense then why they're not doing storylines with Becky.
Yeah. And supposedly this one's different than the last time Miz filmed the Marine, because this one's taking place mostly out of the country. So he can't come in and out like he did before. The last one took place mostly here, where they could film it on soundstage. You could do it. But this one, I don't know what, I guess they're doing jungle or something like that. But there's something going on where they're leaving the country.
Bad timing with a pregnant wife.
Yeah. And it's hard to, and that may be part of it too. I think he may get time at home.
Because she won't be, yeah.
But he may be like, hey, I got to spend time with her. I can't do 3 things.
Yeah.
So the other big news that kind of broke today or yesterday, we're releasing this, the rumor out there, I've read this on a couple different wrestling websites, is that Matt Hardy is going to win the broken gimmick. Supposedly his contract with Anthem has some financial ties to it and some negative impact because of money they owe him. And he may just end up getting the copyright to everything he's created there just to cover that money.
As he should.
Which means then he'll license it to Vince.
He's definitely floundering on his own without that gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely needs that, and hopefully we can get that issue resolved, and he can kind of, flip the narrative of his character right now, because without Jeff, it's not working.
Well, we can talk about that now, or we can wait till it's deeper. It happened in Raw. I mean, we're going to Raw now. But I mean, if you want to talk about that now, he had a match with Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, and I know it was later in the show, but we'll kind of skip around. That Bray Wyatt promo was rambly and not a good rambly.
A lot of his are rambly.
Yeah, no. Normally they are, and I'm fine with that. But that one was rambly and unfocused. As in, it wasn't tight. The whole "you're all dead." Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, where are you going? Like, there was usually his rambles lead somewhere.
You used the key words there, not lack of focus.
Yeah,
because think about where his career has gone since February.
Yeah,
Elimination Chamber, he's a champion.
Yeah, now he's nothing.
WrestleMania, he loses a championship.
Yep.
Did he even get a rematch before he went over to Raw?
Nope.
So goes to Raw, hasn't done anything since he's been on Raw. Hasn't won a feud since he's been on Raw.
No, he's lost everything.
So, in his mind, he's like, well, hell, how do I go from the one of the top guys, apparently, you can put the title on me, to, mid-card
jobber?
Talker.
Yeah, he's a jobber now.
So, it's like, if I were him, I might be one of the ones that decide, you know what, let me take my talents elsewhere and see what I can do on the indie scene, because you guys apparently don't think highly enough of me.
Yeah. And the thing is, obviously they own the character Bray Wyatt, but he could make adjustments and use...
He can make it work.
He could use versions of that character and not be copyright and get away with it. And then, he had a match with Matt Hardy, and the big thing that came out of that was Matt got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
But at the very end, he started yelling delete, and he looked a little out of it, and and even the commentators were making comments like, this is a different version of Matt Hardy than we've seen before.
Yeah.
So hopefully
they know that they have permission.
That, or the other story I read is that if they didn't win it, they're creating a version of the broken character that's different enough to get away with it, but not call it broken.
Yeah.
And they were going to kind of do something. They know they can use the word delete because you can't copyright the word delete. So that was one of the things they know they can get away with. That's why he's been doing it the whole time, is you can get away with that. So I'm hoping for Matt Hardy that this comes around. And I'm hoping that by the time Jeff does come back, Matt's full broken. And either Jeff comes in as Brother Nero, or it is that feud of Jeff coming back going, what's wrong with you? And they feud each other.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We did have a Roman Reigns did start the show off as a new Intercontinental Champion. Did he really need a "You Deserve It" chant? Really?
You know what though? Like people are hating on Roman. I'm not one of them. I like him. It was good for them, and you know how I feel about those stupid chants anyway.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'm not hating on Roman for it. I just don't
understand the negative reaction he got. Like, get over it. This was just like, you know where that started? Is when he beat Daniel Bryan that year at the Rumble, and they felt like he was being forced down people's throats, and the crowd never forgave him for winning over Daniel Bryan.
Well, that and he beat The Undertaker, and that didn't go over well either.
So, you know, dude is going to be the face of the company for the next 10 years. You know, he puts on good matches. His promos are getting better. You can tell he's putting the work in.
He's gotten a lot better on the mic.
He's embraced the tweener gimmick.
Yep.
So you know, it's his Triple Crown achievement. He finally hit the Triple Crown. He's got all the titles now.
Yep.
So good for him, man. He's doing his thing.
We had the Miz come out because I wasn't sure what the hell they're going to do with them, and I'm still not sure what they're going to do with them.
Well, I think we know now.
But they brought up. I'm assuming they're connecting with Elias.
They needed something.
Who needs something? And Elias was going to challenge. We'll get into we'll talk about that. That's the main event. We'll get into that or later on the show because I got some comments about that. But I did want to make a comment. After Roman walked out, Seth Rollins came out, and we had a match with Cesaro. Okay. Number one, the match went over 3 segments, which is ridiculous.
Number 2, it was the 48th time they fought each other on Raw.
That was the slowest match I have ever seen. That was insane. That was pathetic between the two of them. If I was both of them, I'd be ashamed of that match.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'm passionate about that one.
Yeah, no, I do because I know they can have good matches. That match was bad.
I think
really
Cesaro,
bad.
ever since he hurt himself, it seems like he's been holding back a little bit in the ring.
Could be.
He's wrestling cautious, in my opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why it seems like his style has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to protect himself more. And I think until he's more comfortable, you know, it's like when you hurt yourself and you get back in there for the first time, you kind of gun shy.
He's nervous.
And it seems like he's just being safe right now.
Could be. But, you know, and then after the match, you know, we had a great conversation because obviously I love the explanations of why people are out. Sheamus is doing a sabbatical to Ireland. And
what do you say, a Mohawk? Dumb Mohawk convention or something?
And Ambrose is on his honeymoon, which didn't he get married like 3 months ago? But that's beside the point. But Seth saying, "You don't think Renee put down a credit card, do you?" I was like, "Oh."
Room.
I'm like, okay. I guess we're going full kayfabe now.
Know, right?
We're going full backstage. Okay, we're kayfabe is dead. We're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, they already know.
That was fun though. Then we had Joe versus Titus O'Neil. Titus Brand.
There is a brand still.
I will say this: Titus put up a fight, and he kept hitting Joe really hard until Joe got mad and annoyed and just obliterated him. That was the best part of that match. It was watching Joe, and even the comments like, "Oh, he's hitting Joe." I'm like, "No, he's not hitting Joe. Joe's letting him hit him, and then once Joe's done with him, he's going to destroy him." It's exactly what happened.
Set up that feud apparently with him and Reigns.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good.
For that belt, for that IC
belt. Be a physical battle right there.
Yeah, he came out afterwards, and it's something else that happened on the show that I'm annoyed with, and I know you're going to know what to do. Why is the club doing commercials for www.shopzone.com now? This is 3 weeks in a row?
I think that's an Irish question, but
it's horrible.
That's another team that'll be gone after WrestleMania. Like they totally dropped them, and they refuse to put them in the club with Finn Balor.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And it's crazy to me because Vince doesn't like Finn.
Yep.
He's made that pretty clear that he's not thrilled with him. He thinks he's boring. And apparently he's not over. And Finn was posting on Twitter kind of making fun of Vince's opinion of him, saying, "I guess I'm not over enough." Making subtle remarks there.
Yeah.
So why not pair him with the club?
Yeah.
If you don't feel he's over as an individual, why not put him in a group?
Yeah. Give him something.
But you don't want to use someone else's idea.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
And
he doesn't
you
want
to be have your own idea instead of using what works and what's going to enhance your product. You want to be, stubborn and do things your way, which is his right, obviously. But
you have what was one of the best tag teams in the world.
You called up a guy
doing commercials.
They're doing this comedy. I mean, they had balls in a jar, for God's sake.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
I know. And then we'll talk about Finn later, and we can talk about now is Finn's wrestling Kane. After Jason Jordan can't complete his match and gets thrown out. I mean, it just makes no sense. I don't understand what they're doing. And the other thing is we've talked before is Balor should be on SmackDown. He's a much better fit over there with like KO and AJ and even Jinder and that group than he is on Raw. He's lost on Raw.
Yeah.
And he with the skill set he has, he would fit in so much better on SmackDown.
Well, that's what I was saying a couple weeks ago is that they need a lot of talent needs to be shifted around.
Yeah.
Like I said, Vince doesn't like him for whatever reason. I mean, obviously, Dolph Ziggler said it best about his charisma.
Yeah. He sucks
charisma vacuum. Yeah. But he was your NXT champion, and I think that's being held against him because Triple H liked him.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. Like Vince is still showing Triple H who's in charge.
Well, that, and I think what hurts him in Vince's eyes also is the fact that they gave him the belt and then he lost it immediately.
Yeah.
And not lost it as in he had to give it up.
Yeah.
In the match where he won it,
because you spent all this time building up to that point.
Yeah.
You pulled the trigger and then he gets hurt during the match. Yeah.
So that's it. We had Paige come out with her little group Absolution.
What do you think of that name?
I like it better than the Riot Squad. I understand where they're going with it. I kind of like it in a way. I think because it's Paige's idea of she wants to change the way the division is run, and she wants absolution for what she didn't complete when she left the first time.
Yeah.
I like her idea, and she's right. She's like, I erased the word diva, and she was when that whole thing was going on, the changeover from divas to women. She was one of the pushers.
When she beat AJ Lee, that was the end of it.
Now, I don't totally agree with it because I've already read some people online like, yeah, she's back and she's coming back to get back what she lost. I'm like, she didn't really lose it. She kind of walked. I know she got injured, but then she also kind of walked away because she wanted to chase Del Rio around the world.
Exactly.
So it wasn't exactly like, this isn't a situation where Vince decided you're not what I want anymore. She kind of left.
Yeah. I mean, she's only 25,
Yeah.
26. So there's enough, Randy Orton was incredibly immature in his 20s.
Yeah.
And made a lot of mistakes. And the fact that in a weird way, after all that stuff happened with her, she kind of gained popularity.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to capitalize off of that. And, I think when she left, they realized how big of a draw she is because people love her.
I also think that she realized that as much as she wants to go out, she needs WWE.
She has a passion for the business. I think she kind of lost it.
Yeah.
And I think she got sidetracked with Del Rio.
Yep.
And his drama with the company.
Yep.
And she didn't really know how to react to that. He left, so it was like it kind of left her in limbo. And she probably felt like she was doing the right thing, standing by her man, and then being away for so long. Well, this is my job. This is what I love. This is the big time, and I don't want to give that up.
Yeah.
And so she refocused, and that time off, it seems like it did her some good.
Oh, I feel like she's more mature.
Yeah, she's back, and she, like she said, she's ready to reclaim her spot.
Yeah, I liked it. Okay, am I the only one who doesn't care anymore about Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle's relationship? I could care less.
No,
I don't care about. I don't want to say I don't care about either of them. I could care less about the hey dad, hey son.
Well, you know where they're going with that.
Yeah, they're gonna feud.
He's faking the injury.
Yeah.
That'll get him to the heel side. From a wrestling, what is funny because Kurt came on. He actually tweeted the other day and said that he literally thought Jason Jordan was one of the best wrestlers in the company.
Yeah.
And I actually made a comment, not to him directly. I was talking to some other guy, random wrestler, yes, but you're in the entertainment business.
Yeah, he's not a talker.
So the problem, what I said, he could benefit from some acting classes.
Well, that's why he was good in American Alpha, because
You could hide
Gable.
that.
Yeah, because Gable is really good at that. So Gable was able to hide his deficiencies.
Now, if you're going to invest time, what I would do with him is I would write Jason Jordan off for a little while, and I would have him take some acting classes.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
If you're really serious about him and you feel he has potential,
Yeah.
he has the look.
Oh, he definitely has the look.
Have the guy take some acting classes and learn to cut some better promos. They already don't like him, so he's going to draw a reaction, which is half the battle.
Yeah.
So at least you're going to get a heel reaction. Work on his charisma. You know,
totally.
Have him take some acting classes.
So then we had Elias Sampson, who I love. I love Elias. I really do.
He's grown on me for real.
Versus Roman. But before that, we had an Elias concert with the Miz Taraj.
Yes.
You know what I have to say is, God, the Miz Taraj can really play harmonicas when somebody's in the back playing harmonicas for them. That was the worst fake harmonica I've ever seen. Oh my God.
It was terrible.
Like it wasn't even close to being real.
I think they meant it that way for it to look.
I hope so, because God, that was bad.
fake. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think they kind of meant it for it to look like that.
But I love Elias. And even,
He has a lot of possibilities with his character.
Yeah. Even that match, it was not a rollover match for Roman. He had a good match.
But that's what I'm saying. He's
Elias pushed him.
He can wrestle physical.
Yeah.
Which fits this new style, because you got Brock, Braun, Roman, Joe. You have to have be able to wrestle a physical style. I've seen him when he pops in, and so
that
Elias has, like I said before, he has mid-card Intercontinental Championship potential.
And there might even be a world title run in there.
He could get there.
He looks good, and I know I say he looks like Randy Macho Man, I'm not. He does. That elbow was a pretty damn elbow.
Oh yeah,
when he did that top rope elbow, I was like, oh my God, it's Macho.
Yeah.
I'm like, he jumped off and extended his body and hit that elbow. That was like the best elbow I've seen in years.
I'm gonna go off script as I usually do.
Yeah.
Somebody I need to get called up after WrestleMania, who I'm a big fan of, is Aleister Black.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, they got to get him called up.
Yeah,
but
his entrance. If you have not seen his entrance, where he sort of rise up out of the smoke from camera angle and walks out, and he does this amazing where he rolls into the ring and then turns into a seated position. And I don't know how his knees bend that way.
He kicked somebody I was watching on NXT, and like all my chest started hurting.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the world? That looked like it hurt like hell. But the side note, I'd like to see him called up soon.
And then we had Joe basically dismantle Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Choke him out to the point where when they shot away from Roman literally looked dazed and didn't know what was going on. This is the Joe I told you last week when Joe started attacking a couple weeks ago. This is the Joe I want. I want the
he came
Joe.
In like that.
I want the angry Joe.
He got injured and kind of set him back, but he's back with a vengeance.
This is the angry Joe. I'm not even going to talk about the Asuka Dana Brooke match itself, because that was crap. But what was interesting was Absolution comes out, surrounds the ring.
They cut away,
and it was Asuka that backed away and went up the ramp.
You pick your battles, man.
That was interesting. Now,
she's like, hey, you ready for Asuka?
Yeah, it was interesting because now that's a difference. That's a mature Asuka compared to NXT Asuka, because NXT Asuka would have attacked one of them and then taken the beat down, or at least tried to take them all out. So it was interesting watching Asuka sort of back away and slide up the ramp.
Never seen that before, have we?
No, that was definitely... It's smart. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and I think it adds the Asuka character where you're basically saying she's smarter than we think she is because she knew to back away.
Yeah.
But also, it built up Absolution, because if you don't know Absolution, because, Paige has been gone not too long, but you don't know Mandy Rose, you don't know something. If you know these people, you're going, oh, Asuka must be intimidated because she backed away, so maybe they are something.
Yeah.
So
that was smart booking.
Yeah, that was really smart booking.
Yeah.
It helped everybody across the board. That was one of those decisions that made everybody look good.
You go after the top dog.
Yeah.
And it makes you look stronger.
Oh yeah, and that's my fear for Alexa is Asuka's. She's holding the belt for Asuka. Asuka's gonna rip her head off.
She's holding it for Paige or Asuka. Take your pick. She's keeping that seat warm.
I think she's holding it for Asuka, and I think they're gonna build towards Paige and Asuka. I don't think they'll give the belt to Paige right away.
No. They want to make sure she's all in.
Exactly, and that's why you give it the belt to Asuka first.
Yeah.
Then you let Paige go after Asuka, and I gotta admit, Paige versus Asuka could be really good.
I still would rather see Nia, but that's just me.
But I think that's coming too.
Yeah.
I really do.
There's
I
a lot
think
of different possibilities.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities there. Again, then we had Kane was going to wrestle Jason Jordan, and then Jason Jordan didn't make it. Balor came out. I don't understand why. But then we had what we expected. Strowman came out, and basically they attacked each other. We're having monster versus monster.
This is Kane's last run.
Yes.
They're building him up to look strong, obviously, before him and Braun have their official pay-per-view match.
Yeah, which I'm not sure when it's going to be. When's the next Raw? Night of Champions is SmackDown. So I got to look at the schedule.
Probably the December pay-per-view.
Yeah, at the end of December somewhere.
So they'll have that. You want Strowman looking strong heading into the Rumble. So you have him be a monster, quote unquote. Be the only monster on Raw, and he'll probably break the records for most eliminations in the Royal Rumble,
which is held by Kane.
So that'll make sense to tie that all together.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Do you send Strowman in first in the Rumble?
Oh yeah.
You have him in number one?
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, though, now this is the way I only think it works is if you're going to, okay, well, I'm going to play, let's book the Rumble now. If I was booking the Rumble, I would have him go number one, and let's say a Dolph Ziggler go number two. Nothing against Dolph.
Well, he may not be around at that point.
I'm just playing, but you'll see where I'm going with this. So he eliminates Dolph within the first minute 30, and then the next person comes out. And then Strowman, like the first 5 or 6 people he wrestles,
just throwouts.
He just throw out. Like it may take him a minute.
Yeah.
But basically he eliminates somebody and stands
by himself.
And then stands in the ring going, next.
Next.
And it's not until you get to like maybe at that point be like 7 or 8 that you send in
somebody
like
stronger.
A Sheamus or a Joe or something like that who is going to fight him. And you get 5 or 6 guys in there. But I want those first 4 to be like The Ascension,
Zack Ryder,
people like that. Like, let him just sacrifice a bunch of people right off the bat and just go for it. So, before we head on, any fast words on Raw, by the way?
No. It was
a good show.
It was solid.
Before we move on to SmackDown, I do want to say once again, thank you for Goose Island. Thank you, Brian, for your Bourbon County 2017.
I liked it.
Oh, it's good.
I killed it.
I got another bottle in the fridge, and I'm going to buy more. That's really, really good. All right, so on to SmackDown Live. So SmackDown right now is basically based off the entire idea of Shane wants to fire KO, but Daniel Bryan won't. My question to you is this. Who is the heel in this situation? I think they're building up Daniel to turn heel.
The Ring of Honor group.
Yeah, I really do. Exactly. I think Daniel is being built as the heel side of this relationship because on Raw you have the face Angle and the heel Stephanie.
Yeah.
On SmackDown you've had sort of equal faces, but if you keep Shane face and you turn Daniel heel, it's interesting that way.
Yeah.
So
or make him a tweener.
No, I think they're going to go full heel.
Side with the underdogs, quote unquote.
Yeah, because I don't think KO. Originally, I thought KO would go to Raw. I don't think KO's going anywhere anymore. I think Daniel's keeping him and Sammy around to create havoc.
Possibly because they won't let him wrestle. You think they're going to play that into the the storyline?
Yep. You won't let me wrestle, so I'm going to do what I think is right. For sort of the whole best for business, but in his brain of I want the most talent. I want the AJs. I want the KOs. I want the Sammys, the Bobby Roodes. I want the guys I know are going to go out there and kill themselves and have the best matches.
Yeah. And
build it that way.
Yeah, they're setting up a swerve. That's what I thought they were going to do. I still, for some reason, feel like they're going to find their way to Raw, but
we'll see.
But we'll see. Yeah.
Then we had Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus the New Day. I have a very important question. Why does Big E keep pancakes in his trunks and syrup?
And
that was disturbing.
Why were the Usos so excited to get them?
Yeah, that was weird too. They were sort of complimentary of the New Day, and I didn't understand that either.
Well, they gave them that little praise talk in the ring after they fought at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So the Usos are kind of like tweeners now.
But that whole New Day pancake thing, I missed it. Unless I missed the social media or I missed the week before, I don't understand the pancake thing.
They were in his trunks.
But it was syrup and everything.
They were in his trunks.
And not only were they in his trunks, he reached behind himself.
They were in his trunks.
Yeah. So I'm not eating pancake. I don't care if there's 2 plates on top. I'm not eating Biggie pancakes.
That was definitely disturbing. Oh my God, that was bad.
Okay.
It's bad enough you putting bootios in people's mouths.
All right.
Oh my God.
I got 2 comments on the match also. Number 1, I feel like Shelton is about a half a step behind.
He's been out a long time.
He definitely is not keeping up with the new talent. And Xavier Woods delivered one of the most devastating dropkicks I've ever seen, period.
That was like picture perfect.
Gable took it perfectly. Woods delivered it immaculately. Very rarely do I look at a dropkick and go, ooh, that looks like it hurt. Because most of the time it looks like crap.
Yeah.
I mean, not crap, but most of the time you're like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
That one looked like it legitimately hurt.
He's very underrated
as
a wrestler.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, he's very underrated.
But that was just, when he kicked him and Gable snapped back, you're like,
he sold it really well.
Oh my God, that was brutal.
That's what being, you can tell they practiced together.
Yeah.
That's being in sync.
Yeah. Because the minute Wood extended out all the way, Gable shot across the ring.
Yep.
I've said before I wasn't ecstatic about Gable and Sheldon. I figured they were going to break up eventually. I'm still not impressed with them at all. I don't know what's going on.
I think they're going to turn at some point.
Do you think they're both going to go heel?
I think Shelton and Gable will be a heel tag team.
I could see that.
Before it's all said, before they break up.
Yeah.
I think they'll go heel.
Yeah.
The Usos, like I said, they're the Roman Reigns. They're tweeners, it seems like right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're headed. But
what I think they're
especially
missing,
with the Hype Bros situation.
Next. But I think we're missing an opportunity and this is sometimes where we're build off nostalgia, and I think they could use it. They don't have a name for Gable and Sheldon.
That's the problem.
So give them the name of like greatest American alphas or greatest alphas. Take the names of both their teams and combine them. Shelton was the greatest American tag or greatest tag team.
Yeah.
And American Alpha. So combine it. Make them the greatest tag team or alpha, the greatest alpha. Do something that harkens to both their great moments.
Yeah.
And I think that would help.
Yeah. Brand them.
Brand them. Yeah. And make it seem like, hey, these are 2 of the greatest tag team wrestlers from other tag teams.
Yeah.
Now they're together.
Yeah.
I think that would work. Bludgeon Brothers came out versus the Hype Bros. Okay. I like the entrance to the Bludgeon Brothers.
The entrance is good.
The entrance is good.
Rowan loves wearing masks.
Oh, God, Rowan loves it. And then he's putting them down. I don't mind the entrances. I don't mind the hammers. It's a little theatrical, but I enjoy it. Again, they're basically doing the Wyatt family without being called the Wyatt family. Quick win for them. And then Mojo, which I didn't expect, Mojo turned heel.
I told you.
I thought Zach would be the one to turn heel. I did too. I thought it would be Zach.
It was needed for them. Let me back up. Bludgeon Brothers, that finisher needs work.
Oh God! Oh, that whole flat.
You guys are too big and strong to be doing that.
Yeah.
So that's number 1. We need a new finisher. Definitely the Hype Bros were in its course months ago. Mojo's would be the better heel because he's stronger. So you can build him, I think, better as a physical singles wrestler. Zach's always going to be an underdog. People are going to root for. So, I think it made more sense to turn Mojo. They kind of hinted at it months ago in some of his promos. We'll see where they go with him. He has the charisma to make it as a good, solid mid-carder.
Mojo?
Yeah.
I also liked how when they did an interview with him in the back, he was very calm.
When he was serious before, all this happened, you could kind of see he might have something here.
It was good. I enjoyed it. We'll see where it goes with it. I'm excited about that.
You hang with Gronk, you're going to have some personality.
Yeah.
So he's got that in him.
And we talked about earlier, I hate Bobby Roode right now. I love Bobby Roode. I hate him as a face. I hate the way they're using him. I just don't understand it. I don't understand
like I
what
said,
they're doing.
You bring him in. He's as a heel the entire time at NXT.
Yeah.
He loses his title. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to cheer him, and he's happy.
Yeah. No.
Like, there's no bitterness.
He is a great, arrogant ass.
There was no bitterness for losing his title.
Nope.
He never talked about rematch. He never talked about anything having to do with that.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden he comes to SmackDown. He's got a whole new lease on life, and he's a company guy. You know, he's a face. You know,
and the whole glorious thing.
I'm supposed to flip the switch after. You know, if you've watched NXT, you have this emotional reaction to him.
Because the glorious thing in NXT was an arrogant, cocky. We hate you for it.
Yeah.
Now it's he's awesome. He's glorious.
Yeah.
No, that's not what it is.
There was no transition.
The
whatsoever.
robe, the entrance, the rolling of the hands, him yelling glorious is all. It's a Hall of Heel move, and they're used and just can't. I'm hoping they eventually see the light in that one.
They wanted him to replace Cena.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just not working. Not in that role.
Yeah. AJ Styles takes out both the Singh brothers.
Yeah. So did Jinder.
Yeah, Jinder. But AJ doing the second rope clash of one Singh brother on the other Singh brother, that was fun.
Yes, that was
enjoyable.
Those matches are fun for AJ.
Yeah.
Or anybody when you fight somebody smaller.
Yeah.
But I can imagine wrestling Rey Mysterio was probably like the best thing ever.
And he had two of them there to screw with and really enjoy and kind of move around with.
They were a pretty solid tag team.
And I think eventually they are going to be back to being a solid team. They are a good tag team. I agree with you. They're a really good tag team.
Bollywood Boys is what they call it?
Yeah. They were great in NXT. Yeah. That's why I'm upset that I don't want to say I'm upset the way they're using them in the main roster because I enjoy them being with Jinder.
It's run its course.
But I wish they were in the ring more because they are really good.
I think they're transitioning away from that.
Yeah, I'd like to see them go against a New Day or a Bludgeon Brothers or somebody who they could have fun with. Like, they're not going to be champions, but they're a fun contender team.
You know what they should do with Jinder is they only brought him back for one night, but have the Khali be in his corner.
Yeah.
Like, I go from the Singh brothers to a big monster.
Yeah.
Now I got
Khali ain't doing nothing.
Now I got somebody. He's not even on payroll.
Yeah.
Now I got somebody to watch my back. Yeah. That I know can take care of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good idea. I like that. Then we had Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan as the Riot Squad versus Charlotte, Natty, and Naomi. I love how Natty walked away.
Well, you noticed that was happening.
Yeah. But I'm impressed that they let Ruby pin Charlotte. Right in the middle of the ring. I mean, it was cheesy. I mean, they cheated to get it.
They had to do something.
Yeah, but I actually enjoyed that, and I think obviously we're setting up Ruby versus Charlotte at some point, and that could be a really interesting match too.
It's gonna be interesting. They got a lot of possibilities now. I'm just trying to figure out who's gonna be the one to get left out of it.
Becky.
Well, yeah, she's leaving. So I guess she'll be the one to be put in the back burner.
Yeah.
Where's Carmella in this?
No, but she's still got her briefcase though, so eventually she's going to show up. She's not gone yet.
No, I'm just saying, like they haven't even talked about her, and she's kind of been laying low.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they're doing with that.
Because I think she's getting ready to cash in. They've done that before though, where all of a sudden the cash in person sort of disappears for a while, and then suddenly shows up with the cash in. So we'll see. Fashion Files returned this week, and we had a Saw parody. Oh, it's still great. My favorite line was, "Hey, let's beat this dead horse." When they had this dead horse in the box, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that is just brilliant writing on the writer's part to know they were doing it. And then they killed the Ascension with gas. My favorite part is they unlock Brenzango unlocks their thing, runs away and they're like, "Buddies, we're not your friends." And then Fandango runs back and
gets his hat.
"I knew you wouldn't leave me." And grabs his hat and runs back out. And then the smoke fills the room. And then you just see the hand.
Continued.
Oh my God. And What did he say? He goes, his name is Victor, but he said, like, I forget what he said, what Bernzango said or something. He called him a different name.
Yeah. I
Or Vinny or something like that.
Vinny, yeah.
He goes,
not your friend Vinny.
I'm not your friend, Vinny. It's Victor. Oh, God, that was funny. God, I love those segments. They are just, when the minute they are on, I just stop whatever I'm doing and watch intently because, God, they're hysterical.
Why won't they let them wrestle?
I don't, who?
Which
ones?
The
Ascension or
no,
Brinzango?
the Brinzango.
I don't know. I have no idea. They haven't been in the ring in.
So you're just paying these guys for comedy skits?
Yep, basically. Yeah. They're done.
Dark matches or whatever.
Yep. And then we had a match that was set up early in the night. We had KO versus Randy Orton. No disqualification.
Yeah.
I will say that was a brutal match to watch. There was a lot of good kendo shots. That was a slugfest. And we actually got to see wrestling logic in action, and I loved it. It was when KO attacked Randy, and somebody pointed out, that goes, he's not supposed to be at ringside. And Corey goes, well, technically they're not at ringside. And I'm like, oh my God, they actually pointed out wrestling logic. Because that was always the point, is they said Sammy was banned from ringside. Sammy attacked him on the ramp, which is not ringside. So the fact that Corey pointed out well, they're not technically ringside. I'm like,
that was brilliant.
That was brilliant. So either somebody fed him that line or he pulled it out of the air, because that's the kind of line that we as fans use all the time and go, well, he really
he's
technically not at ringside. That's what I'm like. Well, he didn't really attack him at ringside. He attacked him on the ramp. That's not ringside. So the fact that Corey pointed it out, I'm going, ooh. I like that. Okay, I'll say this one. That feels like a Triple H line, not a Vince line.
Definitely.
Like that feels like the influence of Triple H going, all right, we're going to use the marks against themselves by pointing out the stupid shit that they always make fun of us for. Oh, it was fun though.
Good stuff.
It was good stuff. I enjoyed the match. I like this cowardly KO. I really do. I like the sort of office version he's playing right now.
Yeah, he was kind of like that when he feuded with Jericho.
Yeah.
That's when he started to kind of transition into that. I'm glad he got away from the Captain America U.S. title gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what they're going to do with them. You can only feud with the boss for so long. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Owens is a main eventer. I don't want unless if they do something with Daniel Bryan and two of them, that could be really huge.
I want AJ versus KO is really what I want.
That's
really what I want.
You may get that at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
if Daniel Bryan makes that turn, you may get that at WrestleMania. And KO will be the leader of that group.
Yeah,
with Daniel Bryan being in the position of power.
Yeah, I would like to see
that. Would be huge.
I would really enjoy to see that.
That would be a
match.
Ring of Honor underdogs, indie guys, however you want to put them together,
and just burn down the house.
That would be interesting.
So
tear it down from within.
Yeah, I enjoy that. But we're in the slow season. But I'll tell you what, I'm more excited right now about the shows than I have been in months. So for the slow season, we're not slow. Survivor Series was good.
They're going full out.
We got lots of new women up. We got lots of action going on. Usually December is really bad, and I'm kind of excited to see where we're going to go in December, which means we're going to be hot as hell by the time Royal Rumble shows up in January.
It looks like they're going full steam ahead going into the holidays.
Yeah.
It's good because I don't think
they want to lose momentum.
They don't want to lose momentum and ratings. Keep the storylines interesting. And like I said, bringing the new year in, they usually have a big end of the year paper. When's the 25th anniversary show coming up?
That's in January.
So that's why they're keeping this going. Yeah. They're building up towards that.
Yeah. So they're gonna have They're gonna have a big multi-show.
Yeah.
2 venues.
That's gonna be huge.
Everybody's on the roster. Da. So, all right. So, I'd like to thank Goose Island once again for your Bourbon County Stout Barrel Aged 2017. I enjoyed that a lot.
I did too.
Oh, that was good. Thank you so much for making awesome beer. When you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You put your Christmas lights up in November.
Actually, I
I hate that.
I did.
I hate it.
Well, they're not up yet.
I
They're
hate
oh,
it.
it's not my
Don't
Christmas
turn your
tree's
lights on
my
before
Christmas tree's up. Does
Don't
that count?
turn your damn lights on before December.
Okay. Make sure you head over to vintagepressing.com, vintagepressing.com, where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more. They make great Christmas gifts. They support us so we can be stupid. Basically,
We're good at that.
make sure you head over to Facebook, Beers and Body Slams. You can find out what we're doing. You can also head to beersandbodyslams.com. You can see versions of the show, like recaps of the show, what we're talking about. We got a couple other things up there. You can see the beers we're drinking. That's a big thing. We got some sponsors like High Spots and a couple places you can buy from our sponsors to support the show.
Yes, you can also follow us on the Untapped app. You can rate and try all of the wonderful beers that Fluffy had while he was away. You can follow me at GoodOLJB.
You can follow me at Mr. Fluffy. My goal is 900 by the end of the year. I've got get 24 more after this episode. So I'm going to try to get 900 by the end of the year. Oh, crap. My liver's never going to make it.
Probably not.
Make sure you tune in Monday. We're going to talk about something we don't know yet. We'll figure it out as we go. Then make sure you tune in next week on Thursday. We're going to talk once again about Raw and SmackDown. And I think we're going to talk about Clash of Champions. I got to look when that is. I may be off. I just got back from vacation, so I'm trying to figure out when Clash of Champions is.
A couple weeks, 2 weeks. I think.
Okay, so not next week. It's the week after. Okay, so we're good. We're good. I know it's bad that I'm doing a wrestling show and I'm still trying to remember what wrestling is, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, you covered the key points.
That's right. As always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slam stiff.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.